Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Nanuya English Podcast. If this is your first time joining us, we're so happy to have you here. This is the perfect place to practice your English through simple, natural, and everyday conversations that are easy to understand.
That's right. Whether you're studying at home, driving, relaxing, or just taking a short break, thank you for spending your time learning English with us today. We hope this episode helps you feel more confident speaking English in real-life situations.
Before we begin, don't forget to support our channel by clicking the like button and subscribing, because it really helps us continue creating more easy English content for you.
And I'm Jack, and we're so happy that you decided to spend part of your day with us, because every time you listen, practice, and repeat what you hear, you are taking another important step toward becoming a more confident English speaker. Today, we're talking about something simple but powerful, your morning routine, and how the small things you do every morning can become an easy and natural way to improve your English without feeling like you are studying too hard.
Jack, I've noticed that many people say they want to improve their English, but they often tell me they don't have enough time during the day to study. And honestly, I understand that because life gets busy. But I always tell them that their morning routine can become the perfect opportunity to practice English without needing extra hours.
I completely agree, because most people think language learning only happens when you sit at a desk with a textbook. But in reality, learning can happen while you are brushing your teeth, making breakfast, walking to work, or simply talking to yourself while getting ready in the morning.
Exactly. And for me, the first few minutes after waking up are very important because instead of immediately grabbing my phone and checking messages or social media, which usually makes my mind feel distracted and overwhelmed, I try to sit quietly for a moment and begin my day with simple English thoughts.
That sounds like such a peaceful way to start the day, and I imagine it also helps train your brain to think in English naturally, instead of waiting until later when you officially decide to study.
Yes, that's exactly what happens. Because I'll say things to myself like, "Good morning, Emma. Today is a new opportunity to learn something useful." Or, "I feel excited to practice English today." And even though those are simple sentences, they immediately put my mind into English mode.
I love that idea because many learners believe they need complicated vocabulary to improve. But actually, repeating simple daily phrases again and again helps your brain remember them much faster and makes speaking feel more automatic.
After that, I usually get out of bed, open the curtains, and look outside. And while I'm doing that, I describe what I see in English by saying things like, "The sky looks very bright this morning," or "It looks like it might rain later today."
That's such a smart habit because you're not just memorizing words, you're connecting English to your real life, which makes the language feel useful and meaningful instead of something separate from your daily routine.
Exactly. And then while I'm brushing my teeth or washing my face, I continue talking to myself in English by describing every action, even if it sounds funny. Because I might say, "Now I'm brushing my teeth," or "The water feels cold this morning." And little by little, that practice becomes natural.
Honestly, talking to yourself in English might feel strange at first, but it's one of the easiest and most effective ways to build speaking confidence, especially for learners who don't have someone to practice with every day.
Then comes one of my favorite parts of the morning, making breakfast. Because while I'm preparing my coffee, cutting fruit, or making toast, I love listening to English podcasts or simple English conversations in the background.
That's a great habit because listening while doing something familiar, like making breakfast, helps reduce pressure, and your brain begins absorbing English sounds, rhythm, and pronunciation naturally without feeling overwhelmed.
Exactly. And sometimes I even repeat the sentences I hear while I'm cooking, which is a method called shadowing. Because if I hear someone say, "What are your plans for today?" I immediately repeat it out loud and try to copy the exact pronunciation and rhythm.
Shadowing is honestly one of the best techniques for improving speaking because it helps your mouth get used to making English sounds. And over time, your pronunciation becomes smoother and more natural.
After breakfast, I usually spend 10 or 15 minutes reading something simple in English. And I don't choose difficult material because I want reading to feel enjoyable. So sometimes I read short articles, inspirational quotes, or even simple children's stories.
That's such an important point because many learners accidentally choose material that is too difficult, and then they feel frustrated. But reading easy and understandable content builds confidence and helps vocabulary stay in your memory longer.
Yes. And after reading, I usually write a few sentences in my English journal where I write about how I feel, what my plans are for the day, or what I want to improve. And even though my writing isn't always perfect, I remind myself that practice matters more than perfection.
I think that mindset is so important because many people are afraid of making mistakes. But mistakes are actually proof that you are learning, growing, and trying something new.
Exactly. Because every mistake teaches you something. And if you stay consistent with even just 20 minutes of English every morning, your progress after a few months can be truly amazing.
That's the secret, really. Not studying for 5 hours one day and then giving up, but creating small daily habits that fit naturally into your life. Because consistency always wins in the long run.
So, if someone listening today wants to improve their English, I would tell them to start small, wake up and say one sentence in English, listen to one short podcast, read one paragraph, and write one sentence in a journal. And that's already a great beginning.
Absolutely. Because learning English doesn't need to feel stressful or complicated. It can become a peaceful and rewarding part of your morning that helps you start your day feeling productive and confident.
We hope today's conversation inspired you to look at your morning routine differently and to realize that even the smallest habits can become powerful tools for improving your English over time.
Tomorrow morning, try adding just one English habit to your routine, whether it's listening, speaking, reading, or writing, and notice how good it feels to begin your day with progress.
Thank you so much for listening and practicing with us today. And remember that every little effort you make today helps create the confident English speaker you want to become tomorrow.
Don't forget to subscribe. Keep practicing every day, and we'll see you again in the next episode.